Hey, welcome to the Nursing Dose with your host, Dr. Farah Laurent. Today, I want to talk to you about the top 10 reasons that, actually, not top 10 reasons, the top 10 things that new nurses struggle with the most. How do I know? I was a new nurse myself, I was a nursing student turned emergency nurse, then educator, leader, where I actually was in charge of education for a residency program. I was an educator for new nurses, spent quite a lot of time with nursing students and new nurses. I was the director of a nursing program, associate dean, director of education, all of the things, and then became a nurse career coach. So I've been a nurse career coach for 5 years. So over my 20-year span, I've spoken to thousands and thousands of nurses, okay? Nursing students and new grads. So I think I know a thing or two about nursing and about new nurses, right? So since it's graduation season and so many nurses are reaching out to me for coaching on how to get a job in their dream specialty, I wanted to break this down for you. Okay. And if you're watching and you're like, what in the world is a nurse career coach? Because I didn't have this 20 years ago when I was a new nurse. So, a nurse career coach is basically a career coach specifically for new nurses, helping guide you along your job search and interview preparation, right? Along with a bunch of other things, helping you with confidence, competence, and landing your six-figure role. So over these last 4 to 5 years, I've helped over 200 nurses land specialty dream roles such as the ER, ICU, labor and delivery, NICU, all of the things, okay? Psych, some of them while still in nursing school and shortly after graduation. And if you're watching and you're like, oh, I don't know if she can help me, I've been looking for a job for 6 months, 9 months, or it's about to be a year, and you're afraid that you won't be able to get into a nurse residency program, I help you too. Okay. I have success stories for the whole spectrum. Okay. So let's get into it. The top 10 things that new nurses struggle with the most and how to fix it. Okay. And at the end, I'm also going to share a little bit about my coaching program. But if you can't watch till the end, just go sign up right now for my next free webinar. Sign up at newnursejob.com. That is my free webinar that I typically do every single Thursday at 1 p.m. or 10 a.m. PST. That's 1 p.m. EST or 10 a.m. PST. Okay, so go sign up now. All right, cool. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop them in the chat. And if I happen to watch if you happen to be watching the replay and you have questions or anything, I'll go back and watch this and answer any questions that you guys have. Same thing on TikTok. Drop any comments, questions. And if it's a really good one, what I'll do is I'll record a video and answer you specifically. All right. Are you guys ready? Let's get into it. Number one, lack of clarity. So many new nurses struggle with this. And it's not just lack of clarity in terms of what nursing position they should get. It's also a lack of clarity in terms of what do they actually want, right? You might be thinking, oh my goodness, this is such a big decision. I don't really know what I want, right? So let me quickly break it down for you. Let's start off with your life first, and then you can jump into your career and what specialty area. So the first thing you got to tackle is, what do you really want, right? Ask yourself that question, take some time, reflect, and write it down, okay? The first thing you need to figure out is, where do you want to live? Many of you have moved from state to state or different cities for school. And now you're like, do I go back home or do I stay in this specific city? So you got to figure out what makes you happy, what brings you peace. If that's being closer to home or friends for a support system, so be it. Or if you're adventurous and you're like, I just want to be alone and explore other cities, then go ahead, explore away. You might want to move to a different city. That's what I did. I stayed home for 5 years. I knew I wanted to go into emergency medicine right out of nursing school, even though they told me I couldn't. I was crazy. I could never get an ER job. My instructor laughed in my face and was like, "You're too unorganized. You should go to med surg." I was like, I know I want the ED, and that's what I'm going to get, right? So I stayed in Canada for 5 years, and then I was like, I'm out. I want to go to a big city. Let me go to New York City because I wanted to explore and I love to travel. So if that's you, go ahead, do you, okay? But figure out where you want to live. That's number one. And do you have a support system? Do you have friends, or you just want to explore? Number two, find out what your priorities are. Is it, is your priority to make more money and have peace, or maybe work close to home, or maybe you want to have time off? For me, I loved working 12-hour shifts, and I liked working 4 12s in a row and then having a big stretch off. I used to take off and go on different trips, go visit Europe, go to this island, that island, because nurses love to travel, and that's what I love to do. I loved having that stretch off. Okay. So that's definitely important to decide what shift do you want to work? Night shift, day shift, or maybe you don't even want to work shifts. Maybe you're more like an outpatient. You don't want to work acute care. You want to work a Monday to Friday. So that's important to understand what type of lifestyle you want to live. Do you have kids? Do you not have kids? You have to take all that into consideration and figure out what type of lifestyle you want first. Okay, so we covered what city, what's the time frame you want to work, what shift do you want to work, or do you want to work Monday to Fridays, that type of stuff. Okay, then you got to figure out what environment do you like to be in, do you thrive in. For me, it was a fast-paced environment, critical care, like the emergency department. I like the excitement, I like the chaos. Some people don't like that. They might want maybe to work in telemetry where they get a little bit of critical care, like drips and things like that, but it's a little bit more controlled. Or you're like, I don't even want to work in a hospital. I want to work in a clinic or urgent care or in the community or an OBGYN clinic, pediatric clinic, whatever it is you want. Figure out the population and the environment that you'd like to be in. Okay. So that is how you're going to find that clarity. And maybe you might want to think long term. Like I meet nursing students and they're like, I already know. I want to be a CRNA. So I'm like, cool, you already know the path. You got to get to the ICU, or some places might take a little bit of ED experience, but ultimately, it's better to be in the ICU. You're going to be intubating patients, taking care of critically ill patients. So you kind of know the route. Okay, so that's number one. That's clarity. Let me know if you guys have any comments or questions. Drop them in the chat. So again, if you're just joining me, I'm talking about the top 10 things that new nurses struggle with and how to fix it. Number one is lack of clarity. I just went through it. What type of lifestyle do you want to live? You got to decide that first. What city, what patients do you want to take care of? And what environments do you thrive in? Okay. And then you'll understand, what you should do. You'll get more clarity. If you're still not sure, it's okay. I just don't want you to get exhausted by applying to every single job and all of the jobs. That is the wrong thing to do. You will definitely be more confused and exhausted. So don't do that. If you need more clarity, I invite you to jump on my free webinar this Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Sign up for it at newnursejob.com, or simply DM me. Send me a message. Say, hey, Farah, I'm still unsure. I'm not clear about what I want to do. Can I jump on a call with you? We'll figure it out. Okay. A lot of my clients come to me and literally within minutes, I get them to clarity. And that's what I also do in my coaching program. So if you want to find out more, just simply DM me, just direct message me or send me an email. Okay. Number two on the list. Okay. Number two of what new nurses struggle with is having that feeling of not feeling like you are good enough. Okay. Um, as a nursing student, you sometimes have that doubt in the beginning, like, oh, am I going to be able to handle being a nurse on my own? I don't know if I had enough clinicals. Listen, you'll never feel like you had enough clinicals. It doesn't matter. I actually had something in Canada called consolidation. They still do it. We had a whole clinicals throughout the year and a whole month at the end, a whole month, Monday to Friday in the hospital. And some of us still felt that way. Okay. So you'll never feel ready. You just have to go for it. Okay. It's a lot of mindset work. So some of you as new nurses might think that you have to pay your dues. And that's what they were trying to do to me as a new nurse. And I didn't want no part of it. Sometimes they make you think, this old school type of nursing narrative that you have to start in med surg and pay your dues and then you can go to what you love. Absolutely not. For anyone who knows me, you know that my main message is start where you want to start. This is why I became a nurse career coach. And this is why I've helped and coached over 200 nurses to get exactly what they want right out of nursing school right away. There's no need to wait. You don't have to pay any dues. Your dues were going to nursing school. Okay. Why did you invest so much time and money? Because you want to do what excites you, what brings you joy, and you want to serve a population that you love to serve. So go ahead. If you want to start in NICU and you love babies, go for it. You don't have to wait. I helped my client Emily get right into the NICU after, months and months. I think it was like 5 months. She kept applying, couldn't get it, couldn't get an offer. And then finally I helped her. I think it was like less than a week of us working together. She was like my record-breaking story of how fast someone got an offer in my coaching program. And for her, it was a week. And it was, she had a job interview. Well, not even a job interview. She went to a job fair and she got the position from the job fair. And Emily was the one that I was like, girl, you need to get yourself a cobalt blue suit. Cobalt blue is my go-to. I tell people to wear cobalt blue, whether it's a dress or a suit or a blazer. Get yourself and invest in a good outfit. So she wore cobalt blue. She texted me. She's like, there, everybody's wearing black. I'm the only one that's wearing blue, like this bright cobalt blue. I was like, that's it. You got to stand out, right? And she told her story. We did an interview pitch where she told stories and intertwined some family stories and her last preceptorship and all that. And I had told her, I said, you better get your NRP because she didn't have her neonatal resuscitation. So I was like, you better get that. She's like, Farah, it's the same day as the job fair. I was like, I don't care. Go in the morning and get yourself NRP. And then you'll have a story to tell at the job interview. Like, I wanted this so bad that I literally did NRP and then came to this job fair. That's the story she told. She crushed the interview. I helped her prepare and she got the job in the NICU. Okay. Same thing. I have a ton of stories, labor and delivery, emergency department. I just helped another client, Savannah. She reminds me so much of my younger self. She wanted to work in the ED in Northern California. She was getting a little impatient. I was like, girl, you literally just graduated. Just give it a minute. Hold on. Work with me here. So literally in less than 3 months of us working together and her graduating, she did land an emergency position. Same day offer right out of school. okay, in Northern California. So it is definitely possible. So back to the story of number two, stop feeling like you're not good enough. You have to reframe your thinking and think, I don't have to wait. I can just get what I want now. Okay? Because I want you to know that your dream specialty is possible. Okay? And that's what I'm doing today. Because I got so excited when I got my ER offer. And I not only did I get one offer in the ER, I got two. The only two hospitals in that small city in Canada, in Windsor, Ontario. I got both ERs and I took the trauma one. And I was like, I'm going to help new nurses get what they want. So that's what I'm doing today. Okay. So again, if you want to learn how to land your dream specialty, sign up. Free webinar, newnursejob.com this Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. EST. Okay. On to number three. Okay. The third thing that a lot of new nurses struggle with is scarcity mindset. What does that mean? That means you are thinking from a place of negativity, a place of lack, and a place that stems from a lot of fear. Like, what if I never get hired? What if there are no jobs for me? What if I can't get a job in Cali and I got to move out of California? I don't know who keeps saying this, but you don't have to leave your current state to find a position. All you need to do is start positioning yourself for success. Tailor your resume and cover letter. Be proactive in your job search. Get a nurse career coach like myself that'll guide you through the way, right? And you don't have to do it alone. So stop marinating in negativity. Stop talking to other nursing friends that are making you freak out more. Only talk to the positive ones, okay? Because you need to have positive energy. Positivity attracts more positivity. There is enough, and you need to remove yourself from the scarcity mindset and move more towards abundance mindset and have the faith and the belief that it's going to happen. You have to be rooted in faith. Okay, something that I believe in quite a bit and manifest because it's going to happen. If you truly believe and have the conviction that you're meant to be an ER nurse, no one can tell you different. And that was my thinking. Okay. I was like, I belong in the ER. No one's going to tell me any different. Okay. And it will be a disservice if you don't go into that area. For example, a lot of labor and delivery nurses that I've helped, they knew they wanted to go into labor and delivery. So I'm like, cool, I got you. Let's make it happen because we need a diverse workforce in labor and delivery and women's health. Everybody knows there's a public health crisis going on. Black and brown women are dying 3 to 4 times more likely related to pregnancy complications that can be preventable. Okay. I myself had to go through traumatic pregnancy related complications that could have been prevented. Right. So this is why I'm super passionate and I want to advocate for this always is that if you are passionate and you want to advocate, let's say for pediatrics or women's health or NICU, or you want to be an ER nurse or a psych nurse or community nurse or whatever, and you believe you belong there, you are going to make an impact. And you need to be there to serve those people because they need you. Okay. So that's the mindset that you have to have and stay away from that scarcity mindset. Okay. Because what we do is not an easy profession. So why would you go to school and not do what you love? Okay. And if, let's say, you do pick a specialty and you don't like it, it's okay. You don't have to feel guilty about it. You just move on to something else. And that's the beauty of nursing. There is such a wide range of different things you can do in and outside the hospital, whether it's bedside, not bedside, community nursing, telehealth, so many different things. Okay. You can work on a cruise ship. I knew nurses that worked in a zoo. You can work for insurance companies. Like there's so many things that you can do. All right. So don't feel like, you have to work in a hospital. Okay. So number 3 is scarcity mindset. You need to shift away from that and get into abundance. Know that there are opportunities and say I am statements. I know people might think, oh, that's woo woo, but it's not woo woo. It works. Okay. You have to believe. Okay. Number 4, many nurses, new nurses, refuse to invest in themselves. And they think, oh, I'm just going to try it out on my own. I'll figure it out. I don't need a career coach. I got this. I'm like, cool. But then they'll come back to me 6 months, 9 months later, sometimes even a year. And they're like, oh my goodness, like snap. I should have worked with you from the beginning. I would have saved myself time and money, because literally the longer that you don't work, you are literally leaving anywhere from 50K to 60 or 70 or 80K on the table. Okay. Just because you don't want to invest up front, you're going to pay for it long term and you're going to lose more money and more time. So make sure that you invest in yourself. Another thing that accelerates your success is, like I said, me as a nurse career coach, I compress everything, compress the time. I guide you to getting to where you want to be a lot faster. So why would you not want that roadmap? Why would you want to figure it out yourself, right? So many people see the value. They're like, I want to do it. Let's go. Like my last client, she literally got a job in less than 3 weeks of working with me as a nursing student before she graduated in the SICU. And she's literally about to start working right after she graduates. And that was like me. I started working 2 days after graduation. Okay. The other thing they need to invest, like you need to invest in yourself, is for certifications. If you're a nursing student or a new grad, don't listen to the people online telling you don't need certifications. Oh, you don't need to get ACLS. The hospital will pay for it. Well, guess what? If you're applying for a critical care position and you don't have ACLS and all the other candidates have ACLS, guess who's going to get an interview? Not you, right? You first need to get to the interview stage to get hired. So you have to be more marketable. How do you become more marketable? By racking up the certifications, racking up the courses, and standing out in the interview process and in the job search process. Okay, so you have to invest in yourself through certifications and also hiring a career coach like myself to support you, building yourself and your personal brand on LinkedIn. All those things is an investment. Okay. Number 5. And again, let me know if you guys have any comments, questions. And if you want to join my free webinar, it's this Thursday, where we dive deeper in job search. And I'll also discuss the top 5 interview mistakes that most new nurses make that can actually cost you an offer. So we'll go deeper into all of that content in my free webinar this Thursday at 1 p.m. How do you sign up? Go to newnursejob.com. For everybody watching on TikTok, the link is in the bio. So go and sign up now, or just simply go to newnursejob.com. Okay. There's also a limit, so make sure you sign up. If you can't make it this Thursday, it's okay. Still sign up because you'll get notifications when the next webinar happens. Okay. So number 5 of what new nurses struggle with the most, number 5 is thinking too small. Okay. So some nurses think, oh my goodness, I'll just be lucky to get any job, right? Maybe one day I can work in Cali. Well, maybe let me just start in med surg, and then down the line, I'll just go into ICU, or let me get this nursing home job, even though I don't like long term, and then later I'll get something else. And I know this job doesn't pay that well, but I'll just take it for now. Okay, thinking too small. Let's stop that. You got to think bigger. And let's say you want to move cities, you want to leave your small city, go ahead, do it now. take the risk when you're young and you don't have, a bunch of kids and all these things where it'll make it a little bit harder to move around, right? I'm not saying you can't do it with kids, but I'm just saying, like, if you're single, you don't have any ties, it's easier for you to move around and explore more things. Okay. So think bigger and just go for what you want. Okay. Number 6, lack of confidence. Many new nurses struggle with confidence, and this is a job killer. In the interview process, if they can sense your lack of confidence, and sometimes it's so deep, it's almost like a self-esteem issue, back to the like, not enough, I don't feel worthy type thing. If you have deep rooted issues like that, that you don't feel worthy, you don't feel like you can get this ICU position or this ER or pediatric or whatever, you're not going to get the position. Okay? Because it's going to exude in the interview. If you don't truly believe you can get the position, you're not going to get the position. So this is the mindset work that I do in my coaching programs because it's so important. And you may not realize that you have these issues. You think that you're maybe articulating your value in the interviews and saying all the right things, but there's something that is giving off lack of confidence, and you're not getting the job because of that. Okay. So how do you fix that? One of the biggest ways is through preparation. Most new nurses struggle with confidence, struggle with anxiety and nervousness in their interviews and stuff because they're not prepared. The less prepared you are, the less confident you feel, right? However, the more preparation you have, the more practice in your interview skills, the more you're confident about your answers, behavioral style answers, clinical style questions, the more confident you will be. So this is competence. The more you practice, the more competent you will become, right? And competence translates to confidence because when you're prepared, you've done your homework, you've done the mock stuff, you have certifications, you know how to answer emergency style questions or whatever the case is, you speak with confidence. When you have an interview pitch and you're not just over there trying to wing it when they're like, hey, tell me about yourself. And you're like, right? You're going to be more confident. Okay. And then in our coaching program, we also focus on the power of storytelling. Some of you struggle with storytelling and you're not quite sure how to tell a story that demonstrates your competence, your strengths, and your skills. And then sometimes you ramble and then you lose the interviewer. So that's how you fix the confidence issue. You don't have to know everything, but you need to be prepared. Okay. And that's what we do. Like I said, in the coaching program, that's what we go over in the webinar. So definitely sign up for the webinar, newnursejob.com. Okay. So if you're just joining me, we just talked about the lack of confidence. Okay. That's number 6 on our top 10 list of what new nurses struggle with the most and how to fix it. Okay. Number 7, new nurses struggle with settling for less. New nurses often settle for lower pay, and you can negotiate your salary depending on what health system. If it's not a union hospital, there are ways you can negotiate other things. Okay. Often, new nurses settle for a specialty that they don't want. You don't want to do that. You can get what you want. You can get your dream role as a new nurse. And again, they may settle for a toxic work environment because they're like, you know what, this is the only thing I can get and I got to pay the bills. you don't want to be in that situation because it's going to start affecting your mental health and then eventually your physical health. How do I know? Because many nurses talk to me about this, and I actually was stuck in a situation like that myself. Okay. So you need to be able to ask for more, negotiate your salary, take up space, refuse positions that you don't want, and actually don't even apply for them. That goes back to number one, clarity. If you don't like med surg, you have no business applying for med surg. Stop applying to all the jobs. It's exhausting. And it is not a strategy. It's actually going to make it worse. Okay? Um, so yes, it goes back to clarity, being clear on what you want, attracting what you want, and stop settling for less. Okay? You're not asking for too much. You're asking for what you deserve and what you can get. And it's possible. Okay. And then number 8 is caring too much about what others think. For some reason, I don't know why, but nurses will say things like, hey, I really want to work in public health or community. But people are telling me that if I start in public health, that it's not a good idea because if I later want to transition to the hospital, it's not going to be good. And I'm like, don't listen to that because you can transition anywhere at any time. And maybe you might not even want to go to the hospital system later, right? You might love public health or community health. So you don't have to listen to what other people are saying in terms of, you have to get your skills first. Like, I mean, for what? Do what you want. Okay. And then some nurses will think, well, what if the recruiter thinks I don't have enough experience, right? Stop thinking for other people. Or they'll say, well, this position says you need a year of experience in so and so. And I'm like, just apply anyway. And if they say no, they say no. Just go for it. Okay. Or, they'll say, well, I don't know if I can go straight into the ICU. Why not? Yes, you can. Like, there's no rule that says you can't start right in the specialty area that you want to. Like I mentioned, I started right in the ER, even though everybody was telling me, you can't start in the ER. Nobody's going to hire you. I'm like, cool, watch me. I will. Because I believed it was possible and it happened. And it can happen for you. And I also can help you get there if you're ready to take action and invest in yourself. Okay. So stop making decisions based out of fear and judgment and stop listening to other people. Listen to what you really want. Okay. I think there's a question about where are traveling nurses. I don't know, but I was a travel nurse for quite some time in the ER, and I enjoyed doing it. But later I moved into a full-time role and then into educator and leadership roles. All right, number 9. Another thing that nurses struggle with is they think that they have plenty of time, right? Let me just give you context of what I mean. They'll say like, oh, and it depends on what you want. Like, let's say you want to start working right out of school. They'll think, oh, I have plenty of time to apply for roles. I'm just going to study for my NCLEX. I'm going to take a couple weeks off, which is great. Take time off, go travel, do what you want, right? And they're like, I'll just apply later. I'll update my resume and stuff later. I'll update my LinkedIn later. The more stuff you put off, it's going to accumulate and time is going to go by quickly. So let's say like you're busy studying for your NCLEX, then you take a trip and you're like, let me just take a little time off. I'm tired. Next thing you know, it's like 3 months, 6 months. And if you don't start applying for jobs, it could be anywhere from 6 to 9 months of you not having a role. If you're comfortable with that and you have the cushion, the financial stability to like not have to work, great, that's fine. But then you got to think, hey, I want to get into this nurse residency program. And most of them only will accept you within that first year. So you might think you have a lot of time, but you don't. And then some new nurses will come to me and be like, "Oh, I'm not graduating like until 6 months from now. Is it too early to work with you as a nurse career coach or to start fixing my resume or cover letter?" I'm like, "No, it's not too early. The earlier you start, the better. In fact, while you're in nursing school, you should be networking. You should have a LinkedIn profile. You should start talking to nurse managers and be like, "Hey, I'm interested in your unit. Can I have your card? Can I have your email?" You need to start building relationships super early while in nursing school and start collecting recommendation letters, all that stuff. Don't wait until the last minute. Okay. Same thing with like getting your outfit. Oh my God, this is my biggest pet peeve when I speak to my clients. That's why one of the first order of businesses, if you get to work with me and get in my coaching program, one of the first things I'll be like, you need to get your outfit like right away. Because they'll call me and be like, oh my goodness, Fair, I have an interview like next week and I don't know what to wear. I'm like, you better go shopping. I told you this. Right? Don't wait till the last moment. Okay. And then number 10, one of my favorites, the biggest thing new nurses struggle with is not being visible, not showing up into in-person events, not being visible on social, and then also just like not showing up in terms of your personality in interviews and things like that. Okay, too many new nurses think that like staying quiet, um, or like letting their fear and nervousness take over is somehow professional, or whatever professional means. Okay. So, like, many new nurses will go to interviews and they're so shy and nervous and like they're not themselves, right? They're like stricken with so much fear that they don't embody their true personality and selves. And then you look robotic, right? And then their interview is like, oh my goodness, this person can't connect. They can't have a conversation. Like, how are they going to take care of patients? How are they going to connect with the healthcare team? How are they going to speak to families? So now they start getting nervous for you. They're like, I don't know if we can hire them because on paper they look really good, right? And this is why in my other videos that I share, I have a YouTube channel. Please check it out. It's called The Nursing Dose with Farah. If you check my video section, you'll see a bunch of videos on YouTube. Please subscribe. One video I talk about how a high GPA will not necessarily get you hired, right? So it's a holistic thing. On paper, you can look amazing. It can get you to the interview stage. But if you can't connect with the interviewers on a human level, have a simple conversation and show a little bit of personality or crack a joke, they're going to be like, how is this person going to function on a team? Right? Because in a hospital setting, especially like in the ER, right, it could be very stressful, overwhelming. They want to know that you're adaptable, you have a sense of humor, and that you could really fit well on a team. Okay. So don't be afraid to speak up, to be visible, to create content, write articles, show some personality, go to events. Okay. So you need to create a LinkedIn profile if you don't have one, or at least update your profile if it's not updated. Share your story. Why are you wanting to get into the ICU? What's the background story? What's the why? This is the storytelling methodology that I infuse in my coaching. And then post what you care about. And don't be afraid to address some controversial topics that are happening in healthcare. Okay. For example, the public health crisis that I talked about for labor and delivery and pregnancy related issues, right? And racism in healthcare. Like, hello, it's an issue. Okay. So be able to address those topics and issues in the interview and let your personality shine. Okay. So if this was helpful, let me know in the comments. I'll probably turn this into a newsletter, maybe an article, and then I'll probably create more content on YouTube surrounding this, and also on TikTok. I'll probably do shorter videos on all of these topics on TikTok. Again, if you're watching, you haven't signed up for this free webinar, and you are a senior nursing student or a new graduate nurse, go right now. Go to newnursejob.com and sign up for my free webinar this Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. PST. Okay, it's called newnursejob.com. The link is in the bio on TikTok, and I think it might be as well on Instagram. Okay, shout out to Caitlin. Thank you for coming through. We got to meet up one of these days. Thank you. She says very helpful. And then let me know if you guys have any comments or questions, even if you're watching the replay. Anyone on TikTok have any comments, questions? And then if you did sign up for my webinar, let me know now in the comments if I'll be seeing you this Thursday. And again, let's say you can't make it this Thursday to the free webinar. Still sign up at newnursejob.com, because when the next webinar happens, you'll get notified by text message and also by email. And typically it happens most Thursdays. So look out for your emails and text messages. You'll get notified when the next free webinar happens. Okay, I'm losing my voice because I talk too much. But I did say I had a coaching program that I quickly will share about. So my coaching program is a premium coaching program. For those on TikTok, y'all know I just dropped a video about how my coaching program is premium, because I have literally clients that are getting premium results. Okay, and I joked about it, but I'm totally serious. I was like, do not contact me. Do not book a call with me if you're not ready to do the work, if you're not ready to invest in yourself, because yeah, my program isn't cheap. It's premium because you get results and it works. This is why my proven framework literally is a rinse and repeat method on how I'm getting my clients results. And they're making on average $140,000 to $190K. And I'm talking most of them are going from $0, no job, to getting their dream job, making $140K to $190K. Okay, that's like $12 to $16K a month. Okay, and I actually should be charging more for my coaching program, but right now it is where it's at. So like I said, there is a fee involved because I'm literally pouring all of my expertise over the last 20 years. My 3 degrees, my doctorate, my master's in education, all my previous experience as a clinical instructor, educator, residency program coordinator, all of this stuff. And you don't got to listen to me. Like, go read some receipts. Like, go check the testimonials on LinkedIn of past clients I worked with. And testimonials, I have a ton of video testimonials. In fact, I have I believe now over 100 testimonials from past clients, right? Of the literal proof of how I compress the time. All of my clients are getting their dream role in less than 90 days compared to their counterparts that are literally waiting 6 to 9 months, sometimes a year. Okay. So when I said earlier, the longer you wait, you're literally losing out on money and leaving money on the table. And I'm talking, if you're not working for 6 months, that's about $50K to potentially $90K that you're leaving on the table. So when you look at my program, it's like, oh my goodness, like that's a no-brainer, right? But I don't accept just anyone in my program. I only accept those who are ready to invest in themselves, ready to put in the time to work on their resume, cover letter, be coachable, do the things I tell them to do on LinkedIn. Because like you can come on my coaching program, but if you're not going to do anything, then what's the use, right? Because I want my clients to get results because they're not just getting results, they're getting transformed. Their confidence is next level after they're done working with me. So when they go into those interviews, they're slaying. Like my clients know when you get to the interview stage, it's a wrap. Like you're getting a same day offer or a next day offer or a same week offer. Like that's it. Done. It's a wrap. Right? So I'm actually waiting on a couple testimonials. So that's the other requirement. Like for real, I need to put that in the contract. Like if you're gonna work with me, I need the video testimonial after you get your offer, like literally within a week of the offer, because people have been holding out on some of my videos, and I'm coming for you. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna send you a message. I'm gonna text you. But yeah, I'm for real. Like I love what I do, helping these new nurses get so excited entering the workforce, doing what it is they want to do, because people keep telling them they can't. And I'm like, yes, you can. And it's possible. Okay. So hope you follow me for more content. I hope this was valuable. Go and sign up to my free webinar, newnursejob.com. Everybody on TikTok, link is in the bio. Tell your friends, tag a friend, repost this, share it with everybody. Follow me on all the platforms and go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll leave the link. I always say that I'm going to go back and leave the link for my YouTube channel so you guys could subscribe on LinkedIn. Okay. And then everybody on TikTok, just follow me on LinkedIn as well, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe, tell a friend, and come to the webinar because it's free. Okay. And then if you're like, you know what, I can't wait for this webinar, I want to book a call one-on-one. And this is only for those who are serious and ready to start getting results and take action and willing to invest in yourself. Just DM me, dream role. Just direct message me, dream role. Okay. And then I also have a free resource. I have a free PDF. You can DM me for that as well. And if you meet criteria, I'll send you a booking link so you can actually get a call with me. But listen, I'm not trying to waste your time, and I know you don't want to waste my time. So only serious people contact me because, again, I don't just work with everybody. Okay? Only the serious ones that are ready to take action and ready to get paid $140 to $190, getting their dream roles. Okay? That's it for me. See you later, TikTok. Bye, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Please subscribe. Join the free webinar. I'm out until next time. All right, take care, y'all. Thank you for watching.